Well, hello there. Good morning from hot Fukuoka. Morning, it's nearly afternoon. Spent the morning basically looking at where to go next. And I found where I'm going next. Going to Kagoshima. A place that has great history, so really looking forward to checking that out. But today, I'm going to go to Ohori Park. And there's another shrine not far from there, or temple, called Ninshi Temple, as far as I remember. So I'm going to check them out. Spent the morning, as I said, just chilling, looking for a place to stay. And I was talking to a Dutch guy as well that stayed just one night in the hostel because, well, he showed up at his other hostel yesterday and the reception was closed because it was a public holiday, so he couldn't check in. So he had to book one night in this hostel. But anyway, you know, happens sometimes when you're traveling around. So I think we should make our way down to Ohori Park. It's got a very famous castle as well in Fukuoka, so looking forward to that. Let's go. Now you might be saying to yourself, well Dan, if it's so hot out, why did you go in and buy a hot coffee? My answer for that is, pain and suffering is temporary, but the pleasure of a nice hot cup of coffee, the joy you get from that is eternal. Also, here's a little interesting fact for you. Did you know that the beans they use to make coffee in 7-Eleven here in Japan are the exact same beans that Starbucks use for their coffee? For about a quarter of the price. Now this kind of a street, when you take a detour off any of the main streets in Japan, this is a typical street that you come down. It's full of, well, hotels, small little bistros, small little cafes, lots of paid parking spaces, and all kinds of little shops selling little treats. So it's quite a nice little experience walking down these kind of things. Well, hello there from Ohori Park. So I've reached the start of one of the trails. Now it's not like a proper hike, but there was a normal road going around that brings you through the car park, the usual where everyone's going to be getting out and going into the park. But I said, you know, why not take this little trail for something different? Who needs all paths made out of concrete when you can take a nice, whoop, nearly fell there. I can take a nice natural trail and listen to the noise of this. Now see that wall here? They're part of the wall of the Fukuoka Castle ruins. The Fukuoka Castle was built in the 1600s, and of course it needed a big moat system to defend itself against outside forces. And the name Ohori, the name of this park, actually translates into English as big moat. So you get the picture, right? But you can see the wall. I think we can go up onto the top of the ruins and get a look out over the park itself. I thought I saw somebody up above having a little glance over at me. You know, you're still very close. Obviously the busy roads are just over behind these buildings here. And over here they have the Tamon Yugara. Now this is the only building on the grounds of Fukuoka Castle that's actually still in its original place where it was built. It's a big 16-room turret up here. It's kind of hard to imagine when you're walking around somewhere like this that like 400 years ago in this exact spot you had samurai patrolling, you had guards looking out from the watchtowers, all sorts of stuff going on, the lord up here in his castle. And now look at it, you know, this is the only surviving building in its original place. The castle is in ruins, you know, so I don't know, just for me it's surreal when you're walking around a place like this that has so much history, but so much of it has been lost just to yeah, time, essentially. Back out at the walls of the castle. I'm gonna take a little walk up here and see if I can go up. So here, there used to be another turret situated, but of course it's long gone now. And this turret that was here used to store the heirloom weapons of the Kurura clan. And they had a south-facing defense of Fukuoka from up here. So this was the south lookout point. I'm gonna go up there. It's only when you come up here that you realise just how strategic it was up here. And the castle lord could come up, him and his men, and look out over the land in front of them and spot any oncoming enemies on their way in to attack. Here's a little interesting fact for you about Ohori Park. So, during World War II, this park, or the lower parts of the park below the castle, were actually redeveloped for military use. But after World War II, they got rid of all that and they turned it into the public park space, which is actually just the only reason that we have Ohori Park here in Fukuoka right now. Sorry, you can hear my cup shaking around. It's very hard to get rid of this trash, as you know, in Japan. Oh, another interesting fact for you. This castle was built without a keep, without a main keep. Now they think it was planned to have a keep, but just never happened for whatever reason. Although, even without the keep, it's still one of the biggest in Kyushu. I really find it hard to believe that, you know, you're walking through somewhere like this, you know, Fukuoka Castle ruins. And now, of course, outside of it, you've got a big busy road, you've got ice cream shops, you've got cafes. Now and then you think, like, 400 years ago, how different this place is that we're walking through right now. You would have had the samurai guards walking around. You would have had the guards patrolling, looking out the watchtowers to make sure there was no attacks on their way. Yeah, I don't know, it's hard to kind of imagine what these places would have been like 300 years ago, you know. I find it fascinating. Everywhere you walk through is steeped in history, of course. Maybe it's not notable history usually, it's just history, but even so, it really interests me. Like, the streets I'm walking around, maybe not these exact streets, but you know, this part I'm walking around like 300, 400 years ago, there were samurai patrolling these streets. I don't know. It is mind-blowing when you're walking around. You can say the same about any city, any country in the world that has a history like that. You know, even in Ireland. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just something that always interests me and intrigues me. So, I'm gonna head over to Ohori Lake now. It's the main attraction of Ohori Park. That castle is technically in a different park, although it's connected. But I tell you, I've been getting bitten while I'm walking around. I can feel little itches on me. I've had to brush off a couple of, well, they weren't mosquitoes, but they were something very similar. And I can feel itchy now where they were standing on me, so I'm like, oh great. Typical, you know, I haven't really gotten, I think I got one mosquito bite since I started this journey. And I'm afraid that this is the beginning of it all. The lake is just up ahead. Let's have a little look at it. You know, it's hard to imagine walking around this lovely, peaceful, tranquil area of Ohori Lake, that this would have been formerly part of the castle's defences. You know, this and the moat, you would have had patrols going around keeping watch. Yeah, it's quite fascinating walking around now. How different things become over time. Actually, a little interesting fact for you about this lake. It's actually a twin lake of the lake in Hangzhou in China, where if you've been watching any of my videos over the last while, I spent a while, and this lake is built, has been redeveloped kind of with these bridges across, the stone bridges, with the influence of the style of Hangzhou Lake, West Lake area. It's lovely walking along. You've got these lovely sunflowers, and these are growing all the way back around. So I'm gonna head over to this area and do a little walk. Actually, in Hangzhou, I remember in the middle of West Lake there was this kind of long narrow strip of land that I was able to walk up along, and I guess this is the same. So I'll bring back a few memories, it will. Just seeing those turtles and the fish back there, or were they tortoise? I don't know. I'm calling it a turtle. Could be very wrong. Anyway, I wasn't even looking that direction, and then there's this old guy sitting down having a cigarette, and he just looks at me and goes, "Hey, hey, hey," and he points. So I had to go and look, and he was happy that I liked it. But check out this little walk over the stone bridge. It's lovely. Lovely little pagoda there sticking out. Don't mind the construction going on over there. It's lovely apart from that. Everyone renting the little swan boats. Starbucks of course over there. Yeah, when I walk over this stone bridge I can really get the Hangzhou West Lake vibes. Definitely the stone bridge leading onto an island, leading onto another stone bridge. It's Hangzhou all over again. Let's take a little walk out to the little pagoda that they've got here. Oh, nice breeze coming in as well. Those clouds look a little bit angry. Oh, I didn't even realise they were there. I was gonna say, my god, that breeze is keeping the heat down, but now I'm looking and saying maybe the rain is gonna keep the heat down. You never know, never know. The weather does change very quick over here. Well, it's very nice to walk around, nice and peaceful. Everyone just having a good time. The vibes are good. You know what, I think I want a strawberry chocolate frappe. Why not? Why not? I may have misspoken earlier. I had said that the name of the temple I wanted to go to, or the shrine should I say, it was called Nishi Shrine. It's not true. It's Nishi Park. It's Terumo Shrine. Just on my way up here after getting my lovely strawberry chocolate frappe, just come across this statue. Isn't that nice? Very overgrown here, so I'm guessing not too many people walk up here. There's a slight trail over to the bench there, but it's still not flattened down as if there'd been too many people here, but that's quite nice. I do like this statue. Even got a sword in his hand, or well, under his arm. So the shrine should be up this little trail that's up to the left here, so let's go and check it out. And this is Terumo Shrine. It's a very important shrine in Fukuoka. It was built in the late 1800s as a tribute to the Kuroda clan. Now the Kuroda clan were very, very important figures in the unification of Japan and in Fukuoka's history in general. The name Kuroda actually comes from the two chiefs of the clan. It was the name of both of them, the guy and his father, the leader and his father. Absolutely gorgeous here. You know, and I think because this is not as popular as a lot of big shrines in Japan, it kind of gives it a bit more atmosphere when you're walking around. There's not big crowds, tour buses full of people. So locals have been coming here for a long, long time. You know, the locals of Fukuoka often come here to pray for guidance and protection, and they've been doing that for centuries. And actually, if you look around the grounds of this shrine, you'll see, now you can't see it from here, you just have to kind of look up close. You can see the Kuroda family crest carved around the place. So yeah, this is a very important temple, and right behind it this links to Nishi Park. So it's great that you can go from a beautiful shrine like this up into the beautiful nature as well. We'll take a little walk up to Nishi Park just to see what's going on. But yeah, beautiful place, steeped in history. We'll take a little walk down here. Now Nishi Park is absolutely gorgeous. You know, zigzagging trails coming up from the shrine down below. You're walking through this place and the sounds of the birds and insects. It's just lovely to walk through. Really, you feel like you're in the middle of a jungle, you know. However, the highlight for me is this beautiful viewpoint out over the bay. Look at that. Hakata Bay just stretching out. You can see the tower over there in the distance, the Hakata Port Tower. Now can you imagine this, you know, sunset, the golden hour, looking out over this bay, lovely glowing colours out over the sea. Oh, what a gorgeous view. You know, I think all of this behind me and what we've seen today is one of the main reasons that I really, really have enjoyed my time in Fukuoka. You know, you've got the lovely city, the hustle and bustle, the main shopping districts if you want that. You've got these lovely parks around, lovely lake, beautiful scenery. You've got these shrines and temples around, not far from each other. Everything is within walking distance. Sound of nature around you. And you know what? I just think to have that all in walking distance, something special about that. Well, that's going to finish it for me then. I've really enjoyed today walking around. It's actually my last day in Fukuoka. Leaving tomorrow at about 10 AM. I get a bus. So yeah, I'll miss it here. Might end up coming back, you never know. I'll still be on Kyushu for a while, so this is the main city of Kyushu for transporting to other places. But you never know. Yeah, really enjoyed it, gotta say. Didn't know what to expect coming in, but whatever I expected, this was better. Highly recommend coming here for the blend of all the different types of things that you can do as a tourist. So thank you for watching my little Fukuoka diaries, journeying around, checking out this city that's new to me. On to the next adventure. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.